Hi everyone, welcome to Harriet's Journey for June. We are excited to have you here. The blocks this month are absolutely beautiful, and I have some really great things to show you, some new products that are really exciting and some new kits to share with you. Before I get into some of the newer things, I do want to talk a little bit about the quilt behind me, the Sewing Social quilt. It is not too late to get on to get into this program. So the Sewing Social Kindness block is our block. This quilt is put together by 12 different shops. Each shop has a block in this quilt that you would purchase from them directly. The blocks are pre-cut, so they go together really easily. And then each of the 12 shops has a finishing kit available. So the quilt behind me is our finishing kit. So let's start with the block. If you're interested in Sewing Social and you'd like our block, it's called the Kindness block. It's $7.99 and it's sold $101. And we're using comment sold to purchase this. Those of you who are part of Harriet's Journey are familiar with this. You just put in the comments section sold $101. If you want our finishing kit, we have this available in two sizes. The one that's behind me is the lap size finishing kit, and that is $89.99, and it is sold $101. Sold $101, $89.99, and that is for this lap size finishing kit with this beautiful border, coordinating fabric border, and the flying geese. If you would like it in a queen size, which gives you two additional actually, let me just think. 1, 2, 3 additional borders. It is sold $102, and it is $139.99. $139.99. Sold $102. So the Kindness block is sold $100 for $7.99. The lap size finishing is $89.99 for sold $101, and the queen size finishing kit is sold $102 for $139.99. Okay, so that's I wanted definitely to talk about that. I also want to talk about our getaway that's coming up July 9th and 10th. It is a virtual getaway. We do a mystery quilt. It is designed for beginner, I would say, to intermediate. It is a lot of fun. We do raffles, we do prizes. It's $99 to participate, and you get this bag, really cool bag, reusable bag, and it's filled with all kinds of goodies for the getaway, including the cutting instructions, some recipes, and a bunch of things that you will need for the getaway. It's $99.99. It's July 9th and 10th. Wait a minute, where is... Oh, here it is. And it's sold $120. Closer. Sold $120, July 9th and 10th, $99. Life at the beach is the theme for this. We have a couple kits that we're doing for this. One is reproduction fabrics from the 30s. This is a kit for the virtual getaway. It has a white background, and it is sold $121, and that's $79.99. So if you don't want to curate your own fabrics for the getaway, this is one way to work with fabrics we've selected. Sold $121, $79.99. And then we have another one that is blue with some beach. It's batiks. It's blues with some beachy, sandy colors, and it's got this like ocean light blue batik-y background. Very, very pretty. This is going to make a nice quilt. This is sold $122 for $79.99. So those are the two curated kits we have for the getaway. And that is coming up July 9th and 10th. So make sure you get yourself, because there is some cutting, so make sure you get yourself ready for that event. Now, I have a bunch of fabrics to show you that will make great backgrounds. But before I get into that, backgrounds for your Harriet's Journey. Before I get into that, I want to talk about some of these a pound of stash scraps bags. These are great for applique. So if you're doing applique or English paper piecing and you need a color that you don't normally have in your stash, these bags are awesome. They're sold by the pound. They're $9.99, and they are, oh no, I'm sorry, they're not $9.99. They're on sale. They're $5.99, which is amazing for a pound of scraps. Sold $103. Sold $103, $5.99, and you get one of these bags of scraps for your applique or your English paper piecing or anything where you just need a small amount of fabric to finish up a design. Now, I'm going to show you some wide backs that I have that will work really nicely with Harriet's Journey. So I know some of you have been talking about backing, and we have just a ton of them. One of them is the background for Harriet's Journey. It's a tone on tone. See if I can get this in the screen.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
It's $11.99 a yard. This is not a wide back. This is a standard bolt. It's $11.99 a yard in a 1 yard minimum, and it's sold $105. So it's a Harriet background, sold $105, $11.99 a yard. So please specify how many yards you want of that fabric. Now, the wide back that I have one that's called American Dreams in beige. It's 108 inches wide. It's $17.99 a yard. Let's see if I can get this for you to see. Okay, it's got those Mariner Star type design. And this is sold $104 for $17.99. And that is a 108 wide back. The next one I have is a beige paisley, also a wide back, 108 inches wide. It's got some teal and green and wine dots in the paisley. This is also $17.99. And this one is sold $107 for the paisley. Okay. And then the last one I have is called Prairie Vine, 108 inches wide. Prairie Vine, it's got the green and the wine and the almost like a linen color background. This is also 108 inches wide. And this one is sold $106 for $17.99. So those are all available for you as you start to think about the back for Harriet, and you want to get those while you can so you don't have to piece your backs. We also have some beautiful quilt labels. This is a set of 3 labels. Let me open this up. It's a set of 3 for $2.99. So you can't beat that. They're really, really pretty. So we have a floral, this one, and then this really pretty star one. 3 separate labels. They're sold $108 and they're $2.99. Sold $108, $2.99, and you get all 3 quilt labels. Okay, Now, there's some things that you're going to need for Harriet. We've shown these before. I just want to give you I'm going to go through them quickly because I just want to give you an opportunity to get them while you can. If you've been struggling with those small pieces and you're needing some of these supplies, this is the 6.5 square up ruler from Creative Grids. The blocks are 6.5 unfinished, so this is ideal for squaring up your blocks for Harriet. This ruler is $16.99 and it's sold $109. So if you haven't gotten it and you want it and you're needing this ruler, now it's available to you. The other ruler that's really helpful, and we're going to be using this ruler a lot today in the blocks that we're doing because we have a lot of geese, flying geese in our blocks. And the thing about flying geese is that when they get small, they get tricky. So this is our flying geese ruler. It is sold $115. It's $26.99, and it does every size of flying geese. Sold $115, $26.99. Okay. You've all heard me talk about glass head pins, those fine pins that are really important when you're doing small pieces and you want everything to line up just right. These, I swear by these. This is a package of, how many are in here? 100 pins, so definitely should get you through a project or two. They are sold $113 and they're $9.99. Sold $113 and they're $9.99. Now, one of the things about pins and needles and those types of things is that they do get dull. And so we have this really great product. It's adorable. It's called Sweet and Sharp Macaroon. It is the cutest little thing I've ever seen. So I'm going to pull it out so I can show you. It looks like a little macaroon, and the filling is emery. So you can put your sewing needle in there or your pins in there and sharpen them. So if you do handwork or anything where your needle or your pin get dull, you sharpen it in there, and then on the top it's a magnet. So you can put your needle on there and it's not going to get lost in the couch. So this is the cutest little thing. It is Sweet and Sharp Raspberry Macaroon. It's sold $112 and it's $13.99. So this is just a great product that also happens to be just stinking adorable, and it works. So sometimes they're cute and they don't work. This particular one is awesome. Sweet and Sharp Macaroon. Sold $112 for $13.99. Okay. Now, the other thing I want to show you, these two things, I was so excited. I came into the shop. They're new, and I was really excited about them. One is, it's called the Oh So Clean Brush Set. And I want to open this up. And what you have in here is a cleaning cloth that has a quilting motif on it. Look at how cute that is for your machine. And 2 size brushes. So you've got this really skinny one, so you can get into those hard to reach spots. You've got the wider one. So when you're cleaning out your machine, everything you need is in this nice little kit. It's adorable. Just a really great product. It all fits nicely in here, and you've got your case, because I don't know about you, I'm always looking for these things. Comes in this nice little case. It's $10.99. It's the Oh So Clean Brush and Cloth Set. Sold $124 for $10.99. Sold $124 for $10.99. Now, this next thing is like my favorite thing. I just saw it and I was like, these are amazing. So these are, it's a 3-pack of magnetic scissor clips. Now, I don't know about you, but in my house, there seems to be a problem with keeping track of what is a fabric scissor and what is a paper scissor. So if you look,
my fabric scissors, prepare to die.
all right, touch my fabric scissors, prepare to die. So this little one has a little quilt motif, and on the other side, I don't know if you can see that, it says fabric.
A little bit closer.
Okay,
There you go.
and you put it on your scissor like this, and there is no excuse for using this scissor for anything other than fabric. There happens to be another one with paper, and it says paper, which you put on your paper scissor, and then there's one for thread. Now, I don't necessarily use a separate scissor for thread, so I might use this for fabric as well. But I just think that these are brilliant. Whoever came up with this little idea was just a genius. So the pack comes with all three of these little magnets. I mean, this is just brilliant. In a little Ziploc bag. Of course, once it's on your scissors, you don't need it. It's $11.99 for all three, and it is sold $125, $11.99. These are going to be, I just think this is brilliant. So sold $125 for $11.99. Your friends are going to see them on your scissors and say, where'd you get that? Awesome, awesome tool. Especially if you have people in your house, no names being thrown around here, who happen to use your fabric scissors for other things other than fabric. Dario being one of them. Dario just comes and takes a scissor. He thinks all scissors are created equal. I don't know why he would think that, since his mother sews, but nonetheless. So now there's no excuse. Read the label. I also like to always show you guys rotary blades. Make sure when we're doing these blocks with very small pieces that you have a sharp blade in your rotary cutter, because it does make a huge difference. Okay, so if you need blades, the 2-pack is $17.99 and it's sold $114. So sold $114, $17.99. Okay. All right, I want to talk a little bit about some kits we have. We have this awesome, it's time to get ready for Halloween, Stack-a-Jack. Okay, it's a cute little kit. It comes with everything you need. It is only $14.99 and it's sold $117. $14.99, sold $117. And it's this awesome little project. The next one I have is a set of 6 placemats. Now, this kit comes with everything you need, including the batting. So it's 6 placemats. This is also a great project to do with your grandchildren. It's a nice, simple pattern. And it is sold $116 for $39.99. Sold $116, $39.99. And then finally, I have this table runner. Oh no, this is a different kit. So I have a table runner, the Black Eyed Susan. This kit, see, has these prairie points, which, you know, sometimes people get intimidated by these. They're easy peasy. Really pretty applique, Black Eyed Susans. And this kit is only $19.99 and it's sold $119. Sold $119.
Clarify that it's on the top and bottom because it looks like you're holding it upside
$19.99. Yes, so Sophia said to clarify, the applique of the Black Eyed Susans is on the bottom and the top. So this is a very big table runner. It's a nice long one. I don't know if that's any better.
No, you're good.
And then the last kit I have for you is a baby quilt. We're going to have to go over there, Soph. It's sold $118. It's called Wild and Free. It's $68.99. And it's got these adorable little creatures on it with glasses. Nice and easy to put together if you have to do something real quick. It's got that giraffe print fabric, and then all these adorable animals with sunglasses on or regular glasses on. Just really, really cute. It's called Wild and Free. It's $68.99 and it's sold $118. So that is our that's the products I have for you today. Bunch of kits, some really great notions though. I highly recommend, again, those scissor tags, the pins, the cleaning kit, just some really cool things that are new to the shop that I think will be extremely, extremely helpful. The last thing we have is our blocks. And today we're looking at blocks that we really did use that flying geese ruler. Can they see this? So again, we've used a lot of these techniques so far. And as usual, I mean, this is beautiful. I love the fabric. But as usual, we just keep expanding. And frankly, the sizes get smaller and smaller. So the first block we're going to do is number 33 in your book. Number 33 is quarter square triangles like we've done a million times before, right? We make a half square triangle and then you put it on top of another half square triangle and you do the same thing with your lines. This ruler is extremely helpful. This is your 1/4 inch ruler. You put it on your block to mark your corner to corner and to mark a 1/4 of an inch on either side of that line. It's great for getting a consistent 1/4 inch on either side of the line for your half square triangles. And these are great to use when you're making these blocks so you're sure that they're always consistent. So we're going to do some 1/4 inch, quarter square triangles, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. The tricky part for this block is this corner piece. And again, we've done these before where you take a square, you add your triangles on the square to make this unit, and then you sew this unit to a solid triangle. The key here is to make sure that when you sew these triangles onto this square, that you press before you put the next triangle on. If you try and finger press, you're not going to get that nice clean 1/4 of an inch allowance there at the point. It'll be sloppy and it won't be laying nice and straight like this one. So that when we lay this on top, we have plenty of room to save that point. So that 1/4 of an inch over here where it's overlapped is really important. So that's this block. That's block 33. So 4 1/4 square triangle blocks and 4 of these 2-unit triangle and square units on the corners. Okay. The next block is really kind of deceiving because it's very easy. You've got your half square triangles, you've got some strips here. It looks pretty straightforward. Where it gets tricky is when you're doing this piece in here, this 9 block, these are 1-inch squares. So as you can imagine, in the end, they end up being these little 1/2-inch squares. So that's real tiny. So what I need you to do when you do these is just don't get too crazy with the pressing because it'll distort it. And what I'm wondering is if I flip, this is block 39 by the way. Whoops. And when you see it, there's a lot of seams in here, right? So we press the seams towards the 9 block to keep this center part nice and flat. So this is the 9 block in here, and then we press the seams towards the 9 block to keep it nice and flat. So that is, it might take your time with that one. I just dropped that's number 39. Okay, so 33 and 39. Okay. This is on page 63, we're doing both blocks, the block on the top of the page and the block on the bottom of the page.
Hold on.
You got it? And these are basically, this is a framed square. We've done these a million times before. This is nice and easy. You're just going to sew your blocks on. Make sure that they flip back appropriately before you trim that 1/4 inch, right, on the opposite sides, and then do the other opposite sides. And that's how you do this center block. And then you're going to do geese. Now, I highly recommend the flying geese ruler. That is, where is that one? What did I do with it?
Flying geese ruler?
Yeah, I had it. Hold on, it's probably back here. Yep. I highly recommend this ruler because look at the size of these pieces for this flying geese. And basically, if you're going to use this ruler, okay, you're going to make one set using the D lines. Okay, cut a background on the solid, and on the rust you're going to do it on the dotted line. So it's the C line. So if you look at the back of this, see where it says C, the solid line, and then C on this side, the dotted line. So you don't even have to measure anything. If you cut your squares that way, you're going to get these beautiful geese and plenty of room for your points. Oh, yes, sorry. And this ruler is sold $115 for $26.99. And then the last block is at the bottom of page 63. Again, it's flying geese, but look at the size of that. That is a teeny, teeny, tiny goose. And so if you're doing that, you're going to do one set using the D lines and one set using the A lines. Look at how little that A line is. It's all on the same ruler. So these geese are using the D lines and these little geese are using the A lines. And it's all on this one ruler. These geese are using the D lines. So we're going to be using this a lot as we put together Harriet's quilt, and so it's really helpful to have this ruler. The way, if you haven't seen, I know I've demonstrated how to use this ruler, but basically you have a larger solid line block, and then these little blocks you cut on the dotted line on this ruler. You lay them where they overlap in the center. You do your point-to-point line with 1/4 inch on either side. You sew on the outside lines and cut on the center line. And you end up with this. Looks like a little, like cat ears, right? Little cat ears. And then you take another square that you cut on that dotted line and you have it overlap through the center of where those cat ears are, and you do the same thing. Can they see this? Down the center, sew on either line, and cut. And when you cut, you end up with 2 of these little geese and plenty of room for your 1/4 inch seam allowance. Now, it doesn't look that impressive when I'm doing the D size, but when I'm doing these little ones, it becomes more and more important. When you press, do not go crazy because you'll distort where those triangles go, so you want to take your time with that. Okay, so we have number 33 where we do this little funky thing with the corners and we have 1/4 square triangles. We do number 39, which is very straightforward, half square triangles, but remember these become 1/2 inch squares on that 9 patch. And then we do number 63, top and bottom. Whoa, sorry about that. Top and bottom, 63, which is all about the flying geese. So that's it for this week on Harriet's Journey, or this month on Harriet's Journey. I hope you're enjoying the process. These blocks are coming out beautiful. Please post them. I've been looking. They're coming out great. Some of you really do a nice job of posting your finished work. And we will see you next month.